3 committees.
Nigerians once again gathered for the umpteenth time to make suggestions and observations in the much-awaited Petroleum Industry Bill, which has been in the works since 2000. Establishing this law, perceived as what will become a viable and investment-friendly regulatory framework for Nigeria's petroleum industry, has remained unachievable as a result of a number of challenges that keep preventing its passage into law. This has led to various drafts of the bill, almost from the scratch, with fresh consultations with legislators, stakeholders, and the executive. Between 2017 and 2018, a part of the PIB was passed by the National Assembly, marking a significant milestone in the journey of replacing the obsolete Petroleum Act of 1969. However, this met a brick wall when the president withheld his assent over certain provisions in the bill. The Petroleum Industry Bill is once more being considered by this joint committee in the 9th National Assembly, with plans to create an effective and strong industry with clear roles, accountability, transparency, and ease of doing business.
Our determination to pass the bill is driven by the need to overhaul a system that has refused to operate optimally in line with global standards, resulting into loss of continental competitiveness.
Passing the law, after all the relevant processes have been completed, is only a means to an end, not an end in itself. The end thereof being to operationalize the law in a manner that best achieves the aims and objectives detailed earlier.
And the reason is very clear, Mr. President. You have said the 3 attempts to make this legislation work that has not succeeded. And every time you have such situations, Mr. President, you have the uncertainty. Investors are wary of putting their money on a long-term business on short-term consideration.
This public hearing affords players in the industry an opportunity to again make inputs in areas where their business interest is not properly captured. They point out some of the areas they hope will be considered.
If properly developed, we believe these gas resources could be a catalyst for economic development, helping to solve the perennial issues with electricity, drive gas-based industries and create thousands of jobs.
With respect to improving deep water terms, the current deep water terms in the PIB are not necessarily favorable for new deep water developments, jeopardizing Chevron's future investment commitment.
We must pass a PIB that is balanced. We must pass a PIB that will support both the government interest and the investors' interest.
The Petroleum Industry Bill has since been split into 4 parts. They are the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, the Petroleum Industry Administrative Bill, the Petroleum Industry Fiscal Bill, and Petroleum Host and Impacted Community Bill. As much as the governance, administrative and fiscal aspects play a vital role in the industry, host communities also occupy an integral part. Representatives of oil-producing communities insist that for oil companies to run their business smoothly, their demands must be given priority in the bill.
In the Seventh Assembly, 10% was given to us, which rate 5% from the government and 5% from operating companies to make 10% for OSCOM. When we are looking at a 10% equity share, that is what we are looking for, to make us as a partaker of the industry. If these our demands are not going to be met, or will not be captured in the bill, will surely affect the industry.
The chairman of this joint committee, Senator Sabo Nakudu, has promised that the National Assembly will consider all inputs put forward by stakeholders. He also re-emphasized the Senate President's assurance of passing the bill soon.
We've attached a lot of importance to the host communities. We know the role we are trying our best to see how we can bring about the required changes for the industry to strive. We said we are going to pass it, we are going to pass it. And it's an executive bill. Once we pass it, the president is going to sign it.
Malam Balakiri.
The Petroleum Industry Bill, which has been in the works for over 20 years, once again passes through this committee stage, which involves consideration of joint committees by the Senate. Afterwards, it will be presented for third reading on the floor of the Senate, and then consideration by both chambers of the National Assembly for onward accent by the President. From the National Assembly, Chinemerem Joseph, Arise News.